welcome back to After the Bell. We are joined here today by dancer, choreographer, artistic director, TOOGIE. What is that? Look at that intro.
I know,
You're so well, versed and established in the dance world. Worked with some of the top singers I'm sure you guys have all heard about there, Kesha, Tovla, Dua Lipa. So we're here to talk to you all about dance, something Cassie and I could really use some help on, and just kind of how you got your start.
Oh, how I got my start? I was born.
That's a good start. Answer. Wow.
I came into the world dancing. Yes. My mother was a professional flamenco dancer.
Wow.
She was from Spain. And then my father was Cuban and was like an entertainer, like actor, singer, dancer, like salsa, Ricky Ricardo guy.
So it's in your blood.
Right.
Yes.
Heavy like Spanish roots. Then.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy. When did you know that you had the dancing gene?
I honestly don't remember ever not knowing.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Sort of, so lucky to have never had that question of like, who am I? What am I going to do?
Right.
You just knew.
Just from like ever since I can remember, I just knew that I was going to be dancing through my life somehow.
So how did that start for you? I know a lot of people out there want to, go into dance or get to where you are today. How does one go about that? Do you have to go to a certain school? And what do you...
there are just like infinite possibilities. Everyone's path is their own unique path. For me, growing up in Miami and just... starting to say yes to every possible opportunity, learning every style I could possibly learn, and just working in that industry, and then getting to a point where I was like, oh, I feel like I want to do something more. And so through my travels, I had been to LA and was like, LA's a cool, diverse place. There's lots of art and creative people there. And so I came here about almost 8 years ago.
Wow.
And then continued to say yes to opportunities. And
what were some of those opportunities from the very beginning back in Miami that you did say yes to?
Oh man. I used to dance on like Univision and Telemundo and do like all the Latin award shows and lots of like glitter and hip swirling and shimmying and shaking.
Yeah, no, all about that, right?
All about it. Oh my gosh.
When did it go from then you're a dancer yourself, like we talked about, but you're also a choreographer?
Yes.
So when did it go from, I guess, not just a passion, but then to a career?
When did it start? In my dance education, choreography was always a subject and a huge passion. I remember being like 10, like super young and going over to friend's house and being like, didn't know the word choreography yet, but like, we're gonna make this and we're gonna move the furniture like that and we're gonna like wear mom's clothes and like do and throw napkins and we would choreograph little skits and things and then in school just always having composition class and having improvisation class where I was always being put in the position to choreograph, and I just always really loved it. Loved being outside and sort of painting a picture. And then I think the first, career would define your being paid for it is I started teaching. Started teaching
right here in LA, right?
In Miami.
Okay.
I started teaching when I was like 16 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Wow. What is it like for you then as a dancer and choreographer when certain moves just go viral and maybe there's not a rhyme or a reason why? For instance, the dab. You see all the kids doing the dab. See, what was this? The Bernie. Like there's always been a dance.
The what? What was that?
There's the Bernie.
It's a very smooth Bernie.
Bernie, right? Yeah. There's just, every year there's a move that goes viral.
Yeah.
Now you as a choreographer, are you looking at that, I guess, technically? Are you laughing about it, or how do you view certain
I love it.
moves?
I love social dance. I love dance that is not scary and intimidating. I love dance that everyone can do. That's why like the time warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show was such a viral thing, even though that term didn't exist in in those days. But because everyone can do it, and that's why it's so good. So especially in a world where sometimes dancing is not looked at as acceptable, I definitely think that the dab is a great thing, you know?
Right, it just transcends cultures, and it just really takes a movement of its own, which is really cool. But you've worked also, speaking of cool, with some really amazing artists.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us about what it's been like working with, I mean, people we look up to ourselves here at Sweetie High, like Kesha, Tovlov, all of these amazing artists. What is it like working with them and choreographing?
It's a bit dreamy. Yeah, it's a little surreal at times. I'm just like, what? Yeah, like, oh, I get to work with like incredible people, and not only the artists, but like the teams that make the artists and that support the artists. But yeah, all of them, Kesha, Tove, Dua, they're all so sweet, just like sweet, kind, like human as can be, and such hard workers. Like they work so hard, and it's just always a real treat to like get to have moments with those people.
I mentioned earlier in the show that those names in particular, when you think of them, you think girl power.
Yeah.
And how has working with them inspired you in your own career and your own personal life?
I'm definitely a feminist, and I think that the universe is very serendipitous, and so I attract people that are sort of on similar wavelengths, and it just empowers me more to continue to like stand for not just feminine but like human qualities that are good in all of us and that should be put forth.
No, that's amazing. Another question, I mean, I was always someone that went, because a lot of our audience is young, and I'm sure they have some school dances coming up, and I think there's a big worry with guys and girls alike. You're just at a certain age where you're like, I don't know if I know how to dance, and I don't know if I know how to dance with a girl. What's your advice to those? Because they want to go to the school dance, but they're not sure they have what it takes on the dance floor.
Everything's so competitive these days.
It is.
Like, it's intimidating.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, that's such a great thing to bring up, like the competitiveness, because it's not a competition. Right. It's not a sports field. It's not a test. It's not, it's just like in our human right to just hear music, let our bodies respond and wiggle around and have fun. You know, be silly. It doesn't, I feel like there's no such thing as like a right way to dance.
See, I like that you say just be silly, because my thing, I'm intimidated by it because I don't know how to do it. I don't want to look like, I don't want to look silly or whatever, but it's okay. You're saying to look silly and mess up and look like you don't know what you're doing. It is okay, because that's who you are. And
exactly.
Well, and I feel like sometimes people, I've been, let's say, the Kelly and Ryan, talk show in the morning, and they do this thing where they have a dance contest, and that person, whoever wins it anyways, gets to be on the show. It's usually the silliest dance moves that are just seem so outrageous that the whole audience votes, and they actually push that one through. So you may create like the next viral. Yeah. Who would have thought that this would have been a cool thing to do? Or what's this one?
Oh, I love that one.
The little kid.
Yeah, she's got it.
It's so good.
Exactly, but you wouldn't think seeing that maybe if you're in the middle of a high school dance floor, that would have been the cool move. But like, look, it went viral. So you do you, kids.
Is there one move, and you probably don't even have an answer to this, that you haven't been able to master? That's hard for you. That's challenging. I can't even do the worm. This thing or with arms. I mean, everything's hard for me. But is there one for you?
I mean, there are. I would say like breaking.
I was gonna say breakdancing.
Yeah,
or something else.
like
b-boying. So we're the same person. It's okay. We're the same.
B-boying and b-boys and b-girls are just really unique species. The amount of like pain that they tolerate in order to achieve those movements is just, it's almost, it's just
like
really
spinning on your head. Like, my head wasn't created for that.
It's
crazy.
Like people have bald spots and stuff. Their like hair rips out.
Wow.
It's dedication.
Yeah.
Like, but then you can spin on your head.
But then
that's
you
cool.
can spin on your head. That
so
is very true.
Yeah.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
What is your personal favorite style of dance that's kind of like your therapy? Like when you're doing this type of dance, that is your happy place.
Oh man.
Or just being on the dance floor is that your happy place?
I think my happiest place is when I get to improvise with a live musician, no matter like what the genre. Because at this point, I've spent so many years studying techniques that I've sort of let go of trying to achieve those techniques and kind of just let my body move how it wants to.
Yeah.
And kind of let all of the vocabulary sort of blend together. That's my favorite, is when I'm truly just responding to the music and if the music is live, it's such a conversation between you and the musician. And it really takes like a lot of listening and just a lot of being present. And I feel like that's when we're all happiest, right? When we're present.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's my fave.
I like
To try that one out.
I go to your room.
Okay.
Go to your room. Put
Clean
on.
it first, because there's no room on the
dance.
floor. So.
Work with what you have. Throw the like dirty clothes up in the air and like.
That'll make it like cleaning fun. Maybe I'll do that.
Jump on the bed, like hide in the closet, and then like come out.
My roommates are gonna come in like, you okay? You okay in here? What's going on in here? I'm like,
I'm just doing what Toogie taught me to do.
Yeah.
And I'll slam the door.
What about driving? Are you always
yeah.
when you hear music, is that just it just takes over?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I am that girl
person
in
that
the car that's like just really having fun while I drive.
Where do you think all of the creativity comes from?
The universe.
The universe. I love it. I'm all about the universe.
No, it comes from everything. It comes from people and personalities that people that have shaped me, people that I've crossed paths with, situations in life, adversity, nature, color, sound, life. I know it sounds a little cheesy maybe, but life is truly beautiful and inspiring, and like the sun and the stars and oxygen.
Yeah, that's always good.
I feel like you're
so
just like a visionary. Like when you are paired up with someone like Kesha or Dua Lipa, like you know what is meant for them. Like you can see them, you can feel them, and you just whatever comes to you, it's just perfect for them.
I like to listen. Yeah. Just the same way I like look at the world and then I look at people and I look at you and I look at you and I start seeing like the awesomeness, the shininess, the like little like the little pedestrian
just like, go
movements.
on. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, and you sort of you really listen, you really observe people in their natural state, and then you sort of take that as your like color palette, and then you like pull and grow from there.
Right.
And so with artists that are not necessarily don't consider themselves dancers. For example, like Perfume Genius, the work I've done with him is I adore so much, just because he's not your conventional, studio dancer, but his movement is so expressive, and that's what makes good dance. Not moves, not choreography and counts and like articulating the beat and all that. Like that's cool too, but when someone's body is just like expressing an emotion, that is the most powerful thing. That's the thing that we like connect to. Right. Or whether it be joy or sadness or everything in between on the spectrum. It's like when you feel that feeling, you as a human being have a response.
I'm curious, how do you feel about dance shows like Dancing with the Stars that are so heavy on technique? This is what you're doing this week. You're doing the tango or the waltz, and like everything has to be so precise, and they're scored on it. Are you a fan of the dance shows, or?
I am. I come from technique. I was in ballet. I was 4 years old with like a tight bun and leotard and tights.
Oh yeah,
so painful. So many bobby pins. But I sort of love that I have trained in all these techniques growing up.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-technique at all. But, you know, for me, I feel limited by just trying to stay in one box at a time or two boxes at a time. So for me personally, my creativity really flows when I'm not trying to stay within a style, but when I'm pulling from other aspects of the creative process. But I love me a tango and a cha-cha and salsa and, you know, all the Latin styles, definitely my roots. I see that stuff happening on television and like people from all over the world learning it. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
No, that's,
yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's I know, and it's a competition, so I guess you have to judge off of something because it's not level across the playing field.
And there's so, you know, I don't like to say like one way is right.
Right, of course.
You know, there's so many options and what calls to you. You know, I have friends that are ballroom dancers and that dance on that show, and like I watch them and I'm like, you're so amazing. And
it's fascinating.
And they're living their life and their truth, and it's just beautiful. But for me, I wouldn't be living in the same way doing that stuff. But it doesn't make it better or worse.
Right.
You know.
What is the process like? Because I mean, I have no idea myself. Let's say when working with an artist like Kesha, do they send you the track, you listen to it, choreograph something, and then meet with her, or is it not as cut and dry?
It's always different.
Okay.
Project to project, some are that way. For example, you know, New Rules.
Yeah.
I got that in advance, and I had so many conversations with Henry, the director, about the images and Dua's ideas and my ideas and his ideas, and it was really like a beautiful collaborative process that we had time to build. I got to go to Miami and do a casting, and
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then you know, flip to another awesome situation, doing Tovlo's last video, where I got to choreograph a puppet. Goals. Hashtag goals.
Amazing.
Can I say
goals.
that?
Yeah.
I feel like it was like, was that a
1000%.
full circle moment for you then, going down back to Miami to cast?
Oh
for
yeah.
Lipa?
One of the yes, absolutely.
Wow.
One of the girls, maybe two of the girls that made it to the video were students of mine when they were like
oh my
10
goodness.
years old.
So cool. Yeah.
And now they're like bam, bam,
Bam.
Yeah.
and just like beautiful women that I got to hire. Yeah, totally
Good
full
for
circle
you. That's
moment.
amazing. See what happens when you follow your passion and live your truth. You
Yeah.
can do everything and anything that you set your mind to.
Yeah.
There's me just trying to
But
preach.
yeah, so the Tovlo video, I didn't hear the song. I because of like label and stuff, I wasn't allowed to listen to the song until I got on set.
Okay.
And so I got on set and had to choreograph stuff immediately.
Take that as like a compliment though, because they
Yeah.
trust you so much
Oh,
that
yeah.
they know that you're gonna kill it
That
in a good way. Like, kill it, like knock it out of the
like
park.
a positive killing. Yes, I also, you know, a huge thing, chunk of my life is doing site-specific work with Heidi Duckler Dance Theater, and that also is like one of those situations where you get there and sometimes you only have a couple days to look at this new environment that is now your stage and transform it into a performance.
Amazing.
And so
That's so cool. Well, I thought it'd be fun if
No.
Yes.
stay,
No.
stay,
Yeah.
stay.
We're gonna-
All of you getting ready for your school dances, which
Oh,
I'm
this, okay. I
sure
thought you
you're
were gonna
going. No,
try
we're
to
getting.
do-
No, we're getting there. I think it'd be really fun if we could learn Katy Perry's swish, swish, bish move that everyone's doing. That I just want to be able to bust out from time to time.
Okay.
I think that would be a good one. Or if you have another one in mind.
No, we can do that one. I just have to. What's the thing? A statement you say before.
Well, we got some legalities up in
No.
Oh.
A disclaimer. A disclaimer.
I was like,
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
What do you have to disclaim?
Just that this is like self-taught. Like I've seen it so many times, and I'm like, I think this is what they're doing.
Okay.
But no one officially, like Katy Perry's choreographer, didn't say, hey, this is how
it is.
Okay. Well, everyone at home watching us right now, all 36,000+ of you, if you guys want to learn it too, why not? This is as close as I'm ever going to get to someone teaching me this move. So here we go.
All right.
I'm going to move these out of the way.
Let's do it.
We might have to back up a little just so we can get in the frame.
Take this off so I'm a little more visible.
Oh, and she's got a great shirt on, everyone. Yeah. I'll have to bend down. That's all right.
Over here.
This is Cassie and I how we think we do it. So.
Okay.
We're doing
all right.
really good.
So is this?
Yeah, I'm gonna hide in the back. You stay there.
Okay.
Okay.
I think let's wait till we get the main cam. Let's see.
All right.
Got to.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. So widen your stance a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
And then just like do this with your hips. Go side to side.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. A little wider. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then put your hands in fists like that.
Still moving the legs?
We'll get there. We're gonna do the parts separate and then add it together.
Oh god.
So like this is the action that's happening in the legs.
Okay.
Yeah. You're sort of your knees are straight, so you're not going like this.
That's what I was doing.
Right?
Oh,
You're just
it's the hips.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm at Equinox again, and they're like, don't move your body.
Okay, and then you're going to go through.
Through.
Mhm. And then you're gonna go here.
Okay.
Now you're gonna switch sides, and then you're gonna go through.
Oh.
Ah!
There.
Switch.
There.
Oh.
There.
Oh.
Huh?
There.
Huh?
Through.
Huh?
There.
Through.
This is
Yep.
not as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. See.
Oh, no,
I have to watch this footage back.
You guys are doing great.
So you thrust like forward, so you go
Thrust.
into it.
Yeah.
And then thrust.
Thrust, and then
Thrust.
switch,
Switch.
and then switch.
Oh.
So you
Hips are
see,
switching.
my hips and my arms are sort of opposing each other. They're going opposite. I'm going left with my hip and then right with my arms.
Okay.
Same thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
I gotta be
bam.
okay.
You got. Don't just relax. Look at my shirt. It says let's unwind.
All right.
All right.
Relax,
So-
they say.
So through the hips
Through.
Through the hips.
and then out,
Out.
and now switch sides,
Switch.
Oh.
and then put your hips through, and then switch, and then switch.
And then
And
through.
then through.
And then this. And then
And then
this.
that.
And then
And then
through. And then this. And then this. And then
Wraps up another episode of After the Bell with Toogie, who's choreographer Kesha, Tovlo, and all the greats, and now Cassie and Taylor here on After the Bell.
I wonder if
Thank
we
you
could
so much
do it
for
at the
joining
same
us
time.
today.
No?
Okay, let's
Ready?
see.
Ready?
Start this. Ready?
Wait, I gotta get close to you guys
And
so we look like a crew.
Like,
Ready?
what is our pace?
5, 6,
6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3,
No,
4.
I'm already
1,
off.
2, 3.
Already off.
See, it's like kind of
I just hit the wall.
It's okay.
Oh my goodness. Well,
You
thank
guys
you.
did good.
We'll practice
Thank
that.
you
You
so
did great.
much.
Definitely practice it at home. Where can everyone follow you on social media and keep up with you and your progress, your dancing, your choreography?
I
Completely.
remember to breathe when you dance.
Breathe.
Always
when you
breathe.
dance, everyone.
Yeah, breathe it out. Yeah. I am on Instagram. I like pictures. At Toogiesaurus, because I also really love dinosaurs.
Where did Toogie come from?
Where does Toogie come from? Toogie comes from, okay, my real name is Teresa, right? And so when you compete in like the popping world or any freestyle genre, you have an alias, you have a nickname. And then at first it was T-Boogie. But then when I started learning more about the culture, I learned that everyone's name was like a letter in Boogie, and I was like, I can't be like anyone else.
So you gotta be.
So I put it together and made the Toogie, and yeah,
So
that's
You gotta. Do you have your own dance move that you've
Ooh,
called the Toogie?
it's not a move, but more so a style. I think where it's like you're trying to move every single part of your body at the same time.
I can't even do my arms and my legs at the same time.
But that's the thing, is that you can't think about it. You just have to go for it.
Okay.
And that's the Toogie.
All right.
Yeah.
The Toogie. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you tomorrow again
Thank
live
you.
on After the
Yes, of
Bell at
course.
3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See ya.
Bye.